This is Boston Lanka News, bringing you news, views, and entertainment from Boston and USA. I'm Vayoni Dimel. Kosala Tantula, who resides in McLain, Virginia, has over 40 years of experience in public accounting and banking in both United Kingdom and United States. During the tsunami, he coordinated the work of the foreign relief teams. He has been involved with the activities of the Sri Lankan community in Washington, D.C. and had served as the treasurer of the Sri Lankan Association of Washington, D.C. He was a key member of the now defunct Association for Peace in Sri Lanka in USA. In the first part of the interview with Kosala, we spoke about the Sri Lankan foreign policy and its direction in this changing world. This is the second part of the interview. Kosala, some say that in Sri Lanka the law and order is declining, but others argue that Sri Lanka needs some space to recover after a 30-year war and to continue its nation-building efforts. Your thoughts?
It's true that Sri Lanka needed space. There's no doubt about that. Sri Lanka was in a chaotic situation immediately after the war. But the thing is, 4 years is too much of space. 1 year, 2 years would have been sufficient. Unfortunately, as I was relating earlier, by focusing on things which are secondary or not worth focusing on, Sri Lanka lost a very good opportunity. So I don't think Sri Lanka needs any more space. What Sri Lanka needs is Sri Lanka's law and order is at a very, very low ebb. That's mainly due to a number of factors. One, journalists have been silenced. Then the civil society is scared. The civil society, I have spoken to a number of prominent civil society members in Sri Lanka. And they all say that they don't want to get involved because they are scared of their lives, which is quite understandable. Now, as a lot of people have heard of, prominent journalists have been killed. So journalists have been sort of pushed out of the country, and they have gone to different other countries. Now, this has to change. Now, I can give you a personal experience of this law and order situation. The present Chief Justice, I don't know whether I should mention this or not, but I'll make it short and sweet. The present Chief Justice, before he became the Attorney General, 2 weeks before he became the Attorney General, I was introduced to him by a friend of mine, a mutual friend of ours, and I went to him to get some advice on a human rights issue. The advice he gave me, looking back, he should never have given me. He almost told me that if I pursue that issue, that the administration will harass me. I was very surprised. And he told me a number of other things which were incorrect. Now, for example, and he told me that I should not follow the human rights violation issue. That was totally incorrect, I think. Now, and not only that, he almost brought a very veiled threat to me, saying that if I do it, that my life will not be safe either. The thing is, that's not right, I think. Now, later I realized that he is a stooge of the administration. Now, a person like that, we should not have as the Chief Justice. We should have a person who's independent, who's knowledgeable about the law, and I personally think that to bring law and order, first the top should be clean. If there are people, who are not related to the administration, or related to, in the sense connected to the administration, and if there's a batch of people who are sort of independent, and there are many in Sri Lanka who are very independent and very impartial. But the unfortunate thing is that they are not given an opportunity, and they are scared about their own lives. And also, due to economic reasons, there are other people who are willing to support whatever the administration says. So anyway, these are the areas I think which have to be corrected. And to answer your question, I don't think we need any more space. I think it's about time Sri Lanka got its capable people together and done something. If they do it, Sri Lanka can be very, very prosperous and very, it's a very attractive place for foreigners to invest.
Although you lived in USA, you have been very much involved in some projects in Sri Lanka, especially since 1999. In what way the expatriates can engage in Sri Lanka, sharing its expertise and resources?
It's tremendous. The expatriates can do a tremendous service to the country because it's a vast knowledge base. To say that you name it, we have it, is a correct way to say that Sri Lankans of prominence are there all over the world who have done wonderfully well and who are working for different countries of their residence rather than serving Sri Lanka. The issue is this. The issue is that Sri Lanka doesn't want the expatriates. Now, I know because I know a number of other people who have gone and who have tried to do work there. But the politicians don't allow you to do it in Sri Lanka. Now, one can contrast it with countries like India and China. Now, for example, in India, I go to five cities, Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore. At all those places, I realized that the expatriates have come back. People, in fact, I know a number of people at companies like Reliance and this Ambani's organization, run by expatriates, Indian expatriates who have come back. And when I talk, I ask them, are you guys happy? And things like that. They all say that we are very happy. We are contributing to the economy and the society. Now, that doesn't happen in Sri Lanka. Now, it's the same with places like China. Now, China has a very strong, young, US educated Chinese expatriate community. Not only just US based, like Australian and all the other countries too, Australia and other countries too. Probably I'm a bit biased because I live in US, I mentioned the word US. But from all over the world, from England and places like that, people have gone back. So in a country like Sri Lanka, when an expatriate goes back, they are considered as if they are there to support the Western interest. The Sri Lankans can understand that they have come back. Now, especially now, for example, in my case, I went back in 1999. And I tried a number of, I have been going several times, about 3-4 times, and then during tsunami I went. Now, no one is willing to give a hearing to you.
That's a serious statement you made, that expatriates, when they go back to do some good work, nobody in the government gives a hearing to them. Do you have any personal experience that you can share?
Now, I'll give you one example. Now, IBM in the early 2000s, I think, about 2003, IBM wanted a foothold in South Asia. Now, I have a lot of contacts with IBM, so I thought I'll take them to Sri Lanka. Now, when I went, I could have very easily contacted the chairman of the BOI through my cousin. Then it was Vatabaldar, who was the chairman. But I didn't want to go through the back door. I told my secretary to contact the chairman. She had called 3 times, no response. Then I told her to call the minister, who was I don't think I should mention the name because the story I'm going to tell you has something to do with this. Anyway, the minister didn't give me an appointment, so I personally went to the at the I think trade center or someplace like that. I went to the office and I was assigned 3 young mid level employees. Now, out of the 3, one was a lawyer, young lawyer, a girl who was very, very efficient. So I got friendly with her, and then one day I invited her and her husband for dinner. And at the dinner, I asked her, why is it that your minister doesn't want to give an appointment to discuss this issue? You know what he said? What she said was that, Mr. Tantula, unless you are willing to pass $1 million under the table, you will not get an appointment. Now, I told her that we call it a kickback here. So, that we are not willing to do that. And who lost? Sri Lanka lost. Not the minister, not me, not any other person. Sri Lanka lost a good investment. So, like that, I know that expatriates are should be welcome, and expatriates should be given an opportunity. And also, I can relate another situation. Once Sri Lanka government organized an investment forum, and in fact, I got invited too. I went. We all went, but the way we were treated, like it was chaotic. The organization was chaotic in the first place. Secondly, we were treated as like criminals. I can understand, casual search, but it was not a casual search, like to go to the parliament building, in this is the old parliament building, and also to the temple trees. We were subjected to very severe checkups, which I didn't think was called for. Now we are used to going through security. We are used to we travel, and we expect it. That's just for our own benefit, but not the way they do it in Sri Lanka. That's the unfortunate thing. And also, I have had the exposure where I had a house right behind temple trees, the president's house. This PSD, that's the Presidential Security Detail, used to walk into houses. One day, like when I was there, one guy came and I refused to show it to him. I told him, but I was wrong, they could do it. So like that, there are a lot of things, the expatriates will not buy, I think, And my advice to any expatriate who wishes to serve in Sri Lanka would be, do it, but make sure that that person has the independence, and not only the independence, that they will not be controlled by the illiterate politicians.
Although USA is one of the biggest trading partners in Sri Lanka, some ruling party politicians tend to demonize USA as a country hostile to Sri Lanka. Do you have any comments?
Actually, Vayani, that's one of the biggest blunders Sri Lanka has done, I think. One of the biggest blunders. I'm not saying because I am living in the United States, but I have lived in the United States since 1975. And I can tell you, with all its weaknesses, States is one of the best countries on earth. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And the United States is a friend of Sri Lanka. United States, America has been a friend since independence, or even before, long before that. I'm no historian, but I can tell you that Sri Lanka has had a lot of aid programs. I remember CARE. I remember the roads put up by now in my first assignment was in Gallo after I finished my degree in Sri Lanka, and there was something known as the American Mum Project in Gallo. So, like that, America has contributed in a number of ways, and also America contributed to the victory, the recent Civil War victory. Had it not been for the American intelligence, satellite intelligence passed through India, and also America cut the financial network of the LTT. That Sri Lanka managed to score a victory. America is, as you very correctly said, America is our biggest trade partner. Not only that, from America we can get a lot of assistance. But because of this irrational policy, and also because now, if you look up the state-controlled media, how they turn around, what's happening in America, and shows as if America is like a devil, is totally incorrect. Now the Sri Lankan approach here is like can be compared to something like an ant trying to bite an elephant. Sri Lanka's input, I don't think has that much of an effect. What Sri Lanka should do is to be friends with almost all the countries, wherever. They can disagree with the issues. Disagreeing with issues is one thing, but complete animosity is not good. And also, this is not only the illiterate junior ministers who do this type of thing. I remember the former prime minister criticizing Hillary Clinton, on a very personal basis. You can criticize a person, that's no problem. But the thing is, it has to be on a non-personal basis. But it was really, really rude. And also, you must have seen recently when Navi Pillai was there. She was ridiculed, she was ridiculed. So this type of thing is not good. It's not good to harass, to say that USA is a big bully or things like that. What we have to do is to handle in a diplomatic manner. Like if America has done something wrong, just come up and say, like this is the area which you have not done right. Correct it. So that type of approach, I don't think is very productive either.
That concludes our news edition. We meet you again with another news edition of News, Views and Entertainment from Boston and USA. Till then, goodbye.